The All Progressive Congress, APC, in a number of states says it's set to reposition the party to ensure victory in the future elections in the state by wooing their aggrieved members, particularly those who felt they had been sidelined in the scheme of things. It is not just Anambra that has warring factions, by the way, virtually every state in the country. So the question is, how can these parties unite their warring factions? Joining me in the studio, again, we still have Ugochukwu Ikeko. He's a political analyst. Thanks for joining us yet again. And of course, we have Sam Adeleke. He's also a political analyst. It's good to have you join us, Sam.
Good to be here.
All right, so I'll start with you, Sam. The APC's warring factions, we didn't just see it in Anambra. We saw a replica of it in Imo. We had it cost people tickets in Zamfara and the River State. So I'm wondering, this idea, because according to the party, they're saying, look, we're going to have a summit of sorts, and this summit will be a unity summit. You know, we'll try to appease and woo back all the people that have been aggrieved from the party. Does this really solve anything?
I do think that, just like we all know, APC is a gathering of string bedfellows, people who came together just to ride to power. And right now, when the center cannot hold, things will definitely fall apart. I think this is the time when the leader of the party needs to step in and prove his mettle, because if you say you are the leader, you should be able to use your influence to bring people together. Now, politicians are good at what they do. It's a game. These guys are full-time politicians. They know that they are worrying because they need something. If it were because of the people, if it were for Nigeria's economic progress, Nigerians will have probably be passionate, you know, and take it P, so to speak, that, oh, this person should be given this. This is not right, this is not right. But what is the way forward? The leader of the party, we know the leaders of the party. The president is the #1 leader, followed by the national leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And the sectional leaders, we have those in the north, the east, the south. This is the time when they should pull their weight and show Nigerians and show the other lesser parties that you are not just big for nothing. You're not just a ruling party because you are called the ruling party, but because you have the capacity to lead when there is crisis.
Interesting. Ugo, apparently this 3-day conference will have bearing on the outcome of the fact-finding committee that was set up last week, which has 2 weeks to submit its reports. They also say the Vice President will be at this event to give it some weight. They will also have Adams Oshomole and, of course, the former Senate President, Ken Namani. They're also saying that the party has gone beyond becoming or playing the opposition. They want to take over the state. How do you see this happening, especially for a state like Anambra? Well,
for me, I think I'll pray that the crisis will continue.
Why would you say that?
Yeah, it's always important. It's always important where we need to understand that what is the driving factor? What is driving them? Their selfish interest. All right. It's not a bad thing for politicians to have crisis. If you remember in England in the 15th century or so, when the elites were having issues with one of the kings, they got to a point where they had the Magna Charta that changed democracy and the rest of them, and that gave them like the defining thing that at the end of the day that made democracy better till today. So if they're going to have issues on principles, I'm fine with it. It's normal. It's democracy. It should happen, all right? But if you're going into a unity summit to go and get people that will rubber stamp the executive, rubber stamp the judiciary, well, I think if I believe in the power of prayer, I think I will pray that it doesn't collapse. Because see, the truth is this, I don't want a pliant National Assembly. We're not going to make progress with it, all right? What these guys are doing at this point is not about the interest of Nigeria, like you rightly said. So are they going to have crisis? They will continue to have crisis. It's not me wishing them bad luck. It's because the truth is this, these guys are strange bedfellows, all right? The core of APC at this moment, the people that control APC is the CPC bloc in APC. All right?
That's right.
Whatever the AD part is trying to do is cosmetic. It does not work. It will not work. The few people that came in from the PDP that stay with them does not hold. They're not the key players as some of them were in 2015. The key players now in 2019, right, are the CPC bloc. So you should listen to them. What are they saying? The CPC bloc or that constitute APC today does not even care about this thing. They're not in the news. All right? Did you mention El-Rufai? Did you mention Abba Kyari? These are the people that control the power in APC, and whatever the people in the South are trying to do is just to get themselves in position that they want to get something of importance from the government.
But this is Anambra State.
I'm from Anambra State,
and I know. And then we're looking at the APC in general? Because of course I'm guessing that this summit might somewhat be replicated. If not necessarily a summit, they will also try to be wooing other factions. But with all that has happened leading up to 2019, can the APC in those states that are not necessarily APC states survive this before the next election cycle?
Can I say something quickly? For example, in Abia State, the Minister of Trade and Finance, Mr. Nelema, all right, the APC in that state has written an open letter to the president saying that we don't want this guy to continue, that he has not done anything for the party in the state, does not support the party. At the same time, you see, some of these people are political elements that does not have any weight. These are the only time in their life they have chance to just make noise. And the truth is that you are not part of the key power player, so nobody's going to listen to you. You can make noise, put press release on the newspapers, everybody will see it. But the truth is that it do not constitute anything. The truth is this, seriously. Well, Anambra, as we all know, is a PDP state. Despite the fact that APGA is in government, the election PDP swept it. Same thing within the Southeast. So some of them are the people that have lost out from both PDP and APGA, especially in Anambra State. Same thing in Abia State. Some people have lost out from Okezie Bazu's government. So they are trying as much as possible to make it seem to the presidency that they are trying to help him raise a new block within the Southeast. If Buhari finishes tomorrow, these guys will leave him, go to the next person. So they are not to be trusted.
And that's my question to you, Mr. Adeleke. I'm just wondering, with all of this infighting and the fact that, you know, there are certain states that are definitely no-go areas for the APC, no matter how hard they work. Do you see those people in those parties outliving this lifespan after this election cycle? I'm talking about before 2023. Will there be a strong APC force, especially in the Southeast and South states?
I believe that crisis is an opportunity for growth and for cohesion. And it's important that we also look at the fundamentals behind all of this. As long as it is not about galvanizing people together, as long as it is not about ensuring that people are educated, people reach out to support them ideologically, this will simply be a storm in a teacup in which it is about the highest bidder. These guys trade and talk about and trade their ideas and loyalty on money. So it is who is ready to give them appointments, who is ready to give them control over a ministry, over a parastatal, over oil blocks, because of course we all know that the federal government has just recently collected or nullified some OMLs from some multinationals. So there are going to be a lot of reallocation of oil blocks right now, and people are positioning themselves to get this largesse from the government ahead of 2023. You know, oftentimes I think that Nigeria is unfortunate to have people who are only election jobbers, people who only plan for every election cycle but not the country's development. Because right now we should be talking about systemic development and talking about how institutions should be built, you know, from the grassroots. That is why I really do challenge people like AAC, who are able to make a very strong dent on the politics of rivers. So if right now these people and these lower parties, because I really don't talk about APC too much and PDP, you know, is just the same people recycling and going in circles.
But you see, as much as you don't want to, I did ask a question, that same question to a party, I think it is the Labour movement or something, there was just one of those parties, and I said, you only show up when it's the election season.
Right.
You don't have to wait for the major political parties to play opposition. We never see the opposition. I mean, take for example in the UK, you don't only hear, you know, the Lib Dems fighting Theresa May. You hear of UKIP. You hear of all the other parties. You know, the Labour movement, Jeremy Corbyn. They are playing opposition, and it's not in their interest. It's mostly in the interest of the people.
There's something you said that I think which is a big fallacy, right? The AAC did not make any dent in River State. They worked with the instrumentality of the military and Rotimi Amechi.
We won't be talking about them if they did not play their game well to get that relevant.
The game that led to the death of people. See, if you cannot be saying that AAC is a model political party,
all is fair in politics.
No, all is not fair, sir. No, all is not fair in politics and war.
There is no morality in this thing.
Then you cannot say
the ideal is that people should do the right things.
No, you can't say that.
The ideal is that people should play politics of morality, you know, debate. Let's talk ideologically. But when you are gunning down people. The other person says, see, one party does not have the monopoly of violence. So there is a battlefield, there is a playing ground in which we need to talk in that context. Because Amechi cannot sit down and watch somebody come to override him. Just the way, sorry, I thought Amechi, Wike rather, will not watch Amechi use the federal might to torpedo him and to stampede him in a state, when the same thing also happened when Amechi was the governor in his time. So I want us to look at Rivers State and that politics of AAC and PDP and APC in a very contextual ground. I'm saying that these parties, you cannot play safe and be a good boy and make a mark if you do not align with the realities on ground. That is my point. So the morality is different all entirely.
All you're saying, you said that all is fair in politics and war. So what you're saying is that AAC going into alliance. Now you just said that APC and PDP are the same, and now you're still justifying that it's good that AAC went into alliance with APC. That's all your words. See, what I'm saying is this: that it does not make sense. For example, we're talking about infighting right now. Before this section, we're talking about security challenges. At this point, seriously, what I expect, I'm not a can't member of any party. What I expect is that by now we should be hiring the chairman, what's it called, Adams Oshimole, the former Labour minister. Now we're hearing rumors about fuel price.
Labour leader, you mean?
Yeah, the former Labour leader is the national chairman of APC. Now we should be hearing news about, okay, what are they going to do about subsidy? What are they going to do about immigration? What are they going to do about security?
No. He's no longer the Labour leader. He's now a party man. He cannot be speaking from both sides of his mouth.
You just mentioned UKIP. In the UK, you just said that the party leaders there still put at position. See, the most important thing, see, we can't give any excuse. We can't excuse
the party leaders there are members of parliament. It's a different ball game. Adams Oshimole is not a member. He's not holding an office.
Adams Oshimole was a former governor. All right, Adams Oshimole is a citizen of this country. Adams Oshimole is first in Nigeria before he's an APC
member. Adams Oshimole's party is in government. Ugo, you're getting it all twisted up.
I'm saying that most importantly, the thing that should drive a party, be it a small party like ASC, be the big party like the APC, should be about the interests of the people. The infighting should be there. See, I don't have any issue with politicians fighting among themselves. They shouldn't kill each other. They can disagree, they can quarrel about position and every other thing, but let them do it on principles. All right, it should be on principles. It should not just be on, okay, what do I get at the end of the day? There should be concession.
So it goes back to what I said. How come these parties, no matter how tiny or how big you are, why are you not playing the proper opposition? Why are you not speaking the minds of the people? Human beings are dying. I think I just heard maybe the PDP once or twice speak about this issue.
Can I respond to that? I'll give an example of Lagos State. You know, in build-up to the election, we keep talking about the fact that the main opposition at the time, Jimmy Agbaje, was just an election cycle politician. And in the course of digging deep, and probably this is an open secret, we all know that he probably handles the supply of drugs to many of the state government hospitals in Lagos State. So you have a man like that who is being fed, so to speak, by the government. And he cannot, like someone said, if they just take you that contract, this man would not have funds to even run his personal business, how much more be a viable opposition. So we have a system in which the institutions of government are the ones funding and making people to live on a daily basis. So until we get to a point whereby the people who are leaders right now...
So you're saying you can't bite the finger that fed you?
Do you get?
But I don't think that, because maybe allegedly if that is Jimmy Agbaje's,
source
way,
of
it doesn't mean that is detail for
anyway.
The ADP or the LP or whatever party. I mean, they also...
of this world,
So I'm saying, why are those people not speaking? Does it mean that we don't have value for life except when it's time for elections? We don't. So where do we go from here?
No, we don't. See, the only place we can go from here is to keep going backward. That's
no way.
I'm not being pessimistic, for Christ's sake. I'm not being pessimistic. The truth is this: we're having an existential crisis as a country. All right. At this point, what is paramount to anybody? Be the PDP, be the APC, be the small parties. Nobody is thinking about the lives of Nigerians. It's sad, it's painful, all right? See, we are at a tipping point as a nation. Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. More people fall into poverty every minute. People are dying in Zamfara. People are dying in Katsina, all right? More youths are out of jobs, all right? The purchasing power of Naira keeps crippling. So it's not a forward projection. You can't make a forward projection. All we're saying is that things doesn't look nice. It looks gloomy at this point, and it's still part of leadership, all right? If Winston Churchill could take the UK out of all the challenges and everything in 1945 during the Second World War, there's nothing we cannot face as a country. Rwanda is a perfect example. Everybody talks about Rwanda today of how they've been able to make progress as a nation. They are the darling of the world.
They're leading right now.
So it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying they should not politics. I'm not saying they shouldn't do that. But in doing that, the most important thing should be the development of Nigeria. Be the small party, be the small party. And for now, for example, the MDP, all right, within the Lake Yazis, they were able to make some good impact during the election. That's the Banky W party. Nothing stops them, all right? We've had issues consistently about demolition, about collapse building within this axis, and Etios falls within this place. Nothing stops NDP from being a vocal party, like being on the forefront of all these issues.
Right.
Don't wait till the election. That is how you drive conversation, all right? And that is the only way we can make progress. And if we're not doing this thing, be the small party or the big party, because like he said, some of them comes to collect money, and thank God some of them lost. And they'll keep losing if they wait till the election time to contest.
All right, because we do not have time, I'm going to take a last one from you, Sam Adeleke. He's talking about the government. What about us, the people? If they don't place value on our lives, what value do we place on our own lives?
On our lives.
How hard are we pushing? How loud is our scream? And are we getting them by the jugular to say, look, we need you to hear us, or else we're going to make sure that we throw you out? I mean, look at South Sudan. He's been thrown out.
Right.
So what are we doing as a country?
I believe as young people, we must not stop advocating for justice. You know, using our phones, using our voices, using social media to capture incidents where people's rights are being trampled upon. We cannot afford to keep quiet. Now, even if we admit to the fact that we live in a society whereby if you go on the street to protest, you are likely to be dead than to be heard. But in the comfort of your car, of the bus, wherever you are, be open. Keep your eyes open. Keep watching and keep doing what you need to do to ensure that whenever you see any sign of injustice, any sign of trampling of people's human rights, please keep posting. Keep please speaking in the little way you can, because at the end of the day, it is what, he who lives or he who runs lives to tell the story another day.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a very healthy and interesting conversation. Ugo Chukwuemeka and Sam Adeleke, both political analysts. Thank you for speaking with us on Plus Politics. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, I'll give you my take, and we'll be wrapping things up right here. Stay with us. The Senate has resolved to override the veto of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari on the Constitution Amendment, 4th Alteration Number 28, Bill 1999, and the Industrial Development Income Tax Relief Amendment Bill. The Constitution Amendment Bill seeks to stipulate the time within which the President or the Governor shall lay the appropriation bill before the National or State Assembly. It also seeks to ensure early presentation and passage of appropriation bills. Buhari's reason for declining assent to the bill was that it did not take cognizance of the provisions of Section 58, subsection 4 of the Nigerian Constitution.
Accordingly, since all these bills to which Mr. President declined assent to had gone through all legislative stages, this committee is of the view that the Senate should invoke this provision with a view to giving these bills accelerated consideration in order for them to be represented to Mr. President for his assent.
For those that to be represented, I think there are only 6 of those. We should list them immediately so that they can start through the process, and we have those done. Those that require constitutional amendment, I think those ones are about 6 as well. And I think that we have to find a date where, if it's possible for us to be able to muster the attendance for that. But the ones that are the easiest one, as I said, is the ones that we just need to pass the bill and start the process.
A 5-man panel of the Supreme Court, led by Justice Olabode Rhodes Viva, on Wednesday unanimously struck out the appeal filed by members of the sacked Balogun Fulani-led Executive Committee of the All Progressive Congress Inquirer. The appellant, Ishola Balogun Fulani, challenged the dissolution of his exco by the national chairman of the party, Adams Ashomole, on July 30,
2018.
But looking very closely and critically at the records, we felt that there was no appeal at all, because what the law requires them to do is to ensure transmission of the records to this court within 14 days. That they didn't do. Rather, they did it outside the period of 14 days allowed by law. In law, it is clear what consequences should visit or follow such an action. So we took the liberty to raise that issue, that instead of bothering their lordship to come and be listening to lengthy argument, it was important that we decide whether or not the appeal has come to this court via the required route.
A free legal advice there. My brief, as far as this matter is concerned, is at an end. The clients reserve their rights to pursue whatever they think legally is available to them under the law.
My take. Take a look around you and see all that's happening in Nigeria. In less than 2 weeks, lives are being lost every day. It's time for us to make our leaders begin to take us seriously. It's time for us to scream and shout at the top of our voices. It's time for them to hear us. So drop your phones, get off your social media, get off your Twitter and your Instagram. Stop typing and start acting. Hit the streets. Whatever we need to do, get those placards out. Let's begin to start the conversation and get these people to do what we need them to do, what we put them there to do. Because you know what? We need to take a stand, or else we'll watch our country burn, and we cannot have that. So we need to act now. My name is Mary Anacone, and it's been Plus Politics. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.